Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
I guess the camera isn't working, the other one. Who knows? Who knows? So we're just going to do like a refresher course on the Idaho 4 case, going over the probable cause document. I have my 3D model up here, the map overhead, and all the different loops that the vehicle took. The white Elantra, 2015 white Elantra, made around the property at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho on, I think it was November 13th, 2022. Right? It has to, I think it's almost 2 years ago now, isn't it? I guess it could have been 20. How long ago was this now? Man, that's crazy. I don't even, hold on a second. Might have been, yeah, it was 2022. Wow, crazy. 2 years ago now. That's wild stuff. Hey, thanks, Kami. Alright, so I'm just gonna go get started on the, I mean, we know that Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez were all college students at the, in Moscow, Idaho, at the University of Idaho. And they lived right here, like this is the town, and they just lived off of campus a little ways. And they had a house at 1122 King Road, which was a sort of an off-campus party house for a sorority. This is the Sigma Chi fraternity, which is where Ethan Chapin, the one male there, probably wasn't supposed to be there, and in terms of from Kohberger's plans. And that's the fraternity right there. And I think it's all in the probable cause document. But they were at I think the Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez were over at the Corner Club from 10 to 1:30, and then there's actually surveillance of them walking like this. That's when they talk about, what did you say to Adam? We all thought that meant something. It had nothing to do with a damn thing. Unless you're a conspiracy nutter, then all of a sudden it's the key to the case. Yeah, and they worked, I think it was, I don't know if it was Madison Mogan and Xana maybe, worked over here at the Mad Greek restaurant. And then at about like 1:41, they're over here at this food truck getting some food. We see that on video as well. And then they get a ride home, and I think that is, let's see, see this shot right here? This is from 1112 King Road. And look how clear that camera footage is that they have there. Right? So they can easily see the white Elantra when it's driving around doing its laps on that camera. And this is actually at 156. So likely this is a shot of the vehicle that Madison, it's not on the screen, but it probably just drove by, the one that Madison and Kaylee were in when they were coming home, because this is right when they got home. Is 156 on 2022 11/13. All right, so we got that, and so they were just out, and they came home, and then everybody's at home. There were the roommates, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, were also there, and those two survived. And they, of course, because of that, they get accused of being killers. I mean, the people on social media are piles of shit. Okay, just letting you know. Well, I'm on social. Well, you're not one of those people, right? It's just unbelievable. But anyways, if you guys can help support my channel tonight, that'd be great. We had KME up there, but then it just fizzled away right away. So if you have the ability to support my channel, allows me to keep doing these shows, I would appreciate it. Maybe think, during the show, if you think about it, that'd be great. So, basically this case is, there's this one guy, this Scottish guy, that covers the case over and over and over. I mean, like every single day for 2 years, and he has nothing but conspiracy theory bullshit that a lot of you actually believe because you watch it. And he's full of crap, 100%. Yeah, so you just gotta watch out what you're doing out there. This is just like the Delphi case. It's just simple. This one obviously, I guess it's more complex just because there's DNA and everything, but it's really obvious who the killer is in this case. Let's see. All right, we're just going to get right down to the exhibit. Hey, thanks, Charlotte Denny. So this is the one by Brett Payne. There's another one by the other officer. It's in a different document. They're pretty much the same now. Almost identical, actually. Yeah. Okay, so this one has everybody's names in it. So here we go. On November 13th, 2022, at approximately 4 p.m., Moscow police, this is the day that they were killed, but 12 hours later. Moscow Police Department Sergeant Blaker and I responded to 1122 King Road. All right. Now, I actually have video I've taken out there. So, I mean, I have everything. I've been there. I have video of the, outside of the building. I drove my vehicle back behind the buildings as it was doing, mimicking the loops that it was doing. Yeah, it could be that the car did the loops in the reverse direction that I have it, based on some audio that's come out. All right. So anyways, well, I guess we could try to. I don't know how you want me to. I'm just going to go through the probable cause, and then I'll show you any videos and stuff like that later. All right. Let me turn down this volume. It's too loud. So November 13th, 2022, at approximately 4 p.m., Moscow Police Department. Sergeant Blaker and I responded to 112 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, here after the King Road residence, to assist with scene security and processing of crime scene associated with 4 homicides. Upon our arrival, the Idaho State Police forensics team was on the scene and was preparing to begin processing the scene. Now, the Moscow Police Department Officer Smith, one of the initials responding officers to the incident, advised he would walk me through the scene. OFC Smith entered O.F.C. Smith and I entered the King Road residence through the bottom floor on the north side of the building. O.F.C. Smith and I then walked upstairs to the second floor. That's the middle floor with that has Zana and Ethan Chapin and Dylan Mortensen live on that floor. O.F.C. Smith directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which later learned through Zana's driver's license and other personal belongings found in the room was Zana. I think is it now. I can't remember if it's Zana or Zana, but I think it's Zana Kernodle. Hereafter Kernodle, or maybe it's Kernodle. Yes, there's things that were corrected now. I can't remember if it was Kernodle or Kernodle or Zana or Zana. Just before the room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Kernodle, laying on the floor. Kernodle was deceased with wounds which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Also in the room was a male, later identified as Ethan Chapin, hereafter Chapin. Chapin was also deceased with wounds later determined to in the autopsy, also with sharp force injuries. Okay. So right there. Now let's go to my. This is what it looks like. I'm going to go back out from the beginning. So here's the front door of the house. If I hit, let me go up in the air, I'll show you. So you have this little character right here. See that guy? He's going to walk through. That's the front of the house. I made the entire 3D model of the house. Right? Got that. And here we go. Goes through. I just have him look around. This is Bethany Funk's room here. She was sleeping in there. That's a storage room right there. So when they came in, they were taken upstairs like this. I've already got this one, Tiger Lily. I've covered it a million times. And then you turn around right here, and then look. This is the bedroom right here. And this is just kind of where I think they were found. I think Ethan may have been on the bed over here. And then, because you could see Zana when they came into the room. And there's a bathroom right here on the left. Right? So, if you just go through the room there, and then you exit again, you're back out into the living room. And then right there, this little, I don't know if you can see that little space there, that's where Dylan Mortensen's room is. I actually go into the room here, but that's pretty much how the door was likely open when she saw Kohberger, which you'll hear in a minute. But she's in this room. And now I'm going back out, and then I'm going upstairs. So this is how they were taken upstairs next. And I believe they came into this room and they just saw a dog. I actually have a little dog in there. Alright, so let's just go through there. And then we followed Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Gonzalez, hereafter Gonzalez's room. I later learned from review of Officer Nunez's body camera, there was a dog in the room when Moscow police officers initially responded. The dog belonged to Gonzalez and her ex-boyfriend Jack DeCoeur. I found out from my interview with Jack DeCoeur on November 13, 2022, that he and Gonzalez shared a dog. O.F.C. Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the 3rd floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan, hereafter Mogan's bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the 3rd floor. I entered the bedroom, so if we go back to this, there's the bathroom right there, and that entire bathroom is the difference in size of, if Madison Mogan's room also included the bathroom size, her room would have been bigger, but it takes up that whole space in there. And then she is, this is her room right here on the right. As I entered this bedroom, I could see 2 females in the single bed in the room. Both Gonzalez and Mogen were deceased with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogen's right side when viewed from the door. The sheath was later processed and had K-Bar, USMC, and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA left on the bottom snap of the knife sheath. So there's, a couple ways to look at that. I mean, did he accidentally, he must have worn gloves because there's no other DNA on that knife sheath, or at least there isn't another single source of DNA. So was he really careful, but he just missed that one spot? Did he leave the knife sheath as a calling card, or was it just accidentally left? We don't know. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA left on the button snap of the knife sheath. As part of the investigation, numerous interviews were conducted by Moscow Police Department, Idaho State Police detectives, and FBI agents. Two of the interviews included Bethany Funk, hereafter Funk, and Dylan Mortensen, hereafter Mortensen. Both Funk and Mortensen were inside the King Road residence at the time of the homicides and were roommates to the victims. Funk's bedroom was located on the east side of the first floor. I already showed you that one. But let me show you this, by the way. So, not that. Well, from the top, if you were looking at the house here, you come in this direction, right over on this wall, like right here is where Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle live, and then right over on the bottom floor on this side is where Bethany Funk lived, and then Dylan Mortensen lives on the second floor, but like right here, right here at the back of the house. And then on the third floor above Dylan Mortensen is where Madison Mogen lived. So literally right above Dylan Mortensen's head, she was hearing the killing of Madison Mogen and Kaylee Gonzalez. And then over here was Kaylee Gonzalez's room. And then Xana Kernodle is on the second floor right there. Right here, actually. Right there. And then this blood was seen coming out of the wall onto the ground outside because there's so much blood in there. But hey, guys, we're dead as a doornail in here. So if you're out there, if you could please help support the channel, become a channel member, do something. That's the only way to make doing these shows viable, because there is no ad revenue on these shows because of the topic. You bring up one topic and they go, nope, even though on television it works great. All right, so I need you guys' support to keep doing these shows. All right, thank you very much. All right, so we got that, and then I'm going to go into the room now. Here we go. So this is as they went into the room, you turn around, and this is how they were described as being later on by, I think, the Gonzalez mother said that Kaylee was sort of sitting up and then leaning forward like that. And I think Madison Mogen was on her stomach, and the knife sheath is on this side, because if it was between them, they would have just said that. Instead, it was on Madison Mogen's right side. So it's just like that. All right? Then you go down the stairs, and just giving you the layout of the house. Then you take a left. Here's the kitchen, and then there's a sliding glass door. It goes outside like that. Thanks, Tiny Bits of Magic. I wish other people thought that. I mean, I think I have the best way of putting things together than anybody else. But it's not sensationalistic enough, so it doesn't sell. So whatever it is, it is. But anyways, thank you. At least you heard what I said. Let's see. Based on numerous interviews conducted by Moscow police officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents, as well as my review of evidence, I have learned the following. Hey, thanks, Jolene May. On the evening of November 12, 2022, Chapin and Kernodle are seen by Funk at the Sigma Chi house. So, Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle were just over at the Sigma Chi house at a party. As I showed you a minute ago, it's just right across the street. And they were, from approximately 9 p.m. on November 12th to about 1:45 a.m. on November 13th. Funk also estimated that at approximately 1:45, Chapin and Kernodle returned to the King Road residence. Funk also stated that Chapin did not live in the King Road residence, but was a guest of Kernodle. Gonzalez and Mogan were at a local bar, the Corner Club, at 202 North Main Street in Moscow. Gonzalez and Mogan can be seen on video footage provided by the Corner Club. Yes, there's video inside the Corner Club. There's video as they're walking down the street from the Corner Club. Then there's video over at the grub truck, the food truck. So Moscow, Gonzalez and Mogan can be seen on video footage provided by the Corner Club between 10 and on November 12th and 1:30. At approximately 1:30 a.m., Gonzalez and Mogan can be seen on video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck at 318 South Main Street, downtown Moscow. The Grub Truck live streams video from their food truck on the streaming platform Twitch, which is available for public viewing on the website. This video was captured by law enforcement. A private party, Eric Grower, reported that he provided a ride to Gonzalez and Mogan at approximately 1:56 a.m. from downtown Moscow in front of the Grub Truck to the King Road residence. Hey, thanks, Moonshadow. Thank you for the no ads. If I see another Loom ad, I don't know if they're going to pop up or not. I don't know if YouTube, puts the ads on these shows or not. But when it's all said and done, they take it off. You have to challenge them. Maybe a day later they put them back on. So if you get them, sorry about that. Mortensen and Funk both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were all home by 2 a.m. and asleep by at least at approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Kernodle, who received a DoorDash delivery order at the residence at about 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported the information. Mortensen stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. Mortensen stated she awoke at approximately 4 a.m. So here's where, let's go back to that. I'll just go forward, coming upstairs. So this is where Xana Kernodle is over here, and Ethan Chapin. So we'll just get out of there, come back. And then right here to the left, this is Dylan Mortensen's room. Right above this ceiling here is the floor for Madison Mogan's bedroom. I mean, could you imagine how horrific that must have been in there? Incredible. Mortensen stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. Mortensen stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Gonzalez playing with their dog. So she's just saying approximately 4 a.m. She doesn't know exactly. In one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor. A short time later, Mortensen said she heard who she thought was Gonzalez say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Kernodle's phone showed this could have also been Kernodle, as her cellular phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app. I'm sort of wondering, because when she got her DoorDash, maybe she goes into the kitchen, or, just as she was going into the kitchen, she sees somebody walking upstairs and says, "Hey, there's somebody here." Don't know. But I mean, she was using her TikTok app at 4:12, which is absolutely incredible, because 4:12 is likely about 3 minutes into the time where Bryan Kohberger was already in the house. All right. Hey, welcome, Sharkamania. And most of this I'm just doing by memory of the other stuff. But we're reading it too. But Mortensen stated she looked out of her bedroom but did not see anyone. So could you imagine? She's looking out all the time when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. So she heard that comment. I think that was more likely Xana, to be honest with you. Mortensen said she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Kernodle's room. So, sometimes I wonder if they were the first ones attacked. Mortensen then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." So that voice who said, "It's okay, I'm going to help you," I believe is Bryan Kohberger. I'm almost 100% certain that that's Bryan Kohberger. Because if you were in the middle of an attack with Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle, you're not going to say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." You don't talk like that to your girlfriend, or it just doesn't sound right. What it sounds like to me is I think that Xana Kernodle, he thought he killed her and Ethan Chapin, and then on another, he heard her whimpering at one point and then went back in there and made it seem like he was a rescue person, but she was still alive. Yeah, it could have been something like that, Stefani. Who knows if it means, maybe she wouldn't have known if the door was open or not. But he wouldn't have left the sliding glass door open, I don't think. That would be kind of stupid. Then people would know, "Oh my God, there's somebody," or I guess it makes it for a quicker escape, but I don't know. Could be that. Who knows? But I think "It's okay, I'm going to help you." That's going to be Bryan Kohberger saying that. Then it says at approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located at 1112 King Road, that's the still frame that I just showed you, immediately to the northwest of 1122 King Road, picked up distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper followed by a loud thud. So I think when he went back, heard Xana whimpering, he killed her, and then her body hits the ground, and that's the thud. A dog can be heard barking numerous times starting at 4:17 a.m. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall. Now at 4:17, that's about the time, he's almost done. He's getting out of there. Now I've made videos out there that show you how long, various times are. Like 7 minutes is an eternity. And I did another one with 8 or 9 minutes. It's a long time. I have people just, here he goes up in the room now, start the clock. And it's like, wow, that's a lot of time. So way more time than people just, they don't know. They just sort of say stuff to try to create a conspiracy sort of, it's way more intriguing. There's no way one guy could. No, easily. I would say even in 5 minutes he could have done all that. Mortensen stated she opened the door for the third time after she heard crying. So what time was that though? Crying, and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. So she heard crying. So that must have been, I bet you that's the same thing as the whimpering. And then after he killed, made sure that Xana was dead, he came walking back, and he passes Bill Mortensen, and I think he then turns to the right and goes into the kitchen at that point and leaves. Because that makes sense. He gets to his car at about like 1:18. He probably spends a few moments taking the clothing off that he's got, the bloody clothing, putting it in the plastic bags. And I guarantee you that Bryan Kohberger was prepared for the DNA mitigation process. And we know that because, for those of you that don't know, when they arrested Bryan Kohberger, he was in his kitchen separating his own trash out of the family trash and putting it into the neighbor's garbage can so that his DNA wasn't there. Yeah, so he knows all about DNA and everything. Mortensen stated she opened the door for the third time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. Mortensen described the figure as 5'10" or taller. Now, Kohberger's like 6 foot, right? Male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. So we knew about bushy eyebrows prior to this document coming out without those words in there. The male walked past Mortensen as she stood in a frozen shock phase. Totally understandable. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. Mortensen locked, so he passes her, takes a right, and heads right out the kitchen. Hey, thanks, Double Play Dog Dude. Hey, Gray, why do you think he left the witness? He didn't see him. Yeah, he didn't see him. I think he was just jacked up because of what he just did, adrenaline. He just got the hell out of there. I think it's very possible that his. I originally thought he went in there to kill the 4 girls that were in there, but I also think it's really possible that he went in there just to kill Madison Mogen. I think he was watching her through the window, and Kaylee Gonzalez being there was something that threw a kind of a wrench into it. She wasn't supposed to be there. That's what I think. And I think he fought her because she fought. Like he fought harder against her, like, a lot of defensive wounds, etc. Anyways, the male walked towards the back sliding glass door. Mortensen locked herself in her room. After seeing the male, Mortensen did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. The combination of Mortensen's statement to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from Funk and Mortensen's phone, and video of a suspect video as described. A video of a suspect video. I'm not sure what that means. As described below, leads investigators to believe the homicide occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. And I could actually narrow it down to 4:08 to 4:19. I think it's even like it's like a 8 or 9 minute window. And I'll show you how I can do that. So when they say 4 to 4:25, they know that's not accurate. But you want to have a little larger window just to encompass anything. Right? But we know it's not 4, and we know it's not 4:25 because the vehicle's driving away, as you'll hear in a minute, at a high rate of speed at 4:20, and we see that the vehicle doing its loops behind the house makes its final loop at like 4:07 and some odd seconds. He would have to park the car, get stuff ready, and then go into the house. Before he was caught. It's not impossible under the time. Hey, Annabella, Sarah, we know what we're doing over here. We've covered it since the beginning. He's absolutely 100% the guy. The killing 7 or 8 minutes, killing 4 people, absolutely within reason. That's not unusual or weird or anything like that. It's just people don't want to, they want there to be a conspiracy. We don't need to have some, doctor talking about it. It's just obvious. We figured it out. But hey guys, we're just still struggling tonight. We're only about a fifth of a normal nightly goal. So if you're out there and you can help support the channel, that'd be great. Unfortunately, I have to keep saying it over and over and over and over and over again because it just doesn't seem to be something people do naturally anymore. Used to be like that in here. I know, we know, Annabelle Teixeira. I just said that 2 minutes ago. Let's see. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the ISP forensic team. by first using presumptive blood test and then amino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of a Vans-type shoe just outside the door of Mortenson's bedroom located on the second floor. This is consistent with Mortenson's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. Hey, thanks, WNC Granny. Haven't seen you in a while. How you feeling then? Clark Mania, long-time listener, first-time caller. Appreciate the work you do. Hey, cool, thanks. Appreciate it. And Kylie Cosmos and Kathy Bartlett. See, there you go. You know, that's sort of how it normally used to feel in here. It's weird how it just kind of... I mean, I'm telling you, you guys, it's a lot of work. I couldn't find it all, $1.99, but I always, yeah. Thanks, Dad and Video Games. How were there no more footprints? I don't know. So yeah, you're asking the same kind of questions as people do in the Richard Allen case. It's like, how did nobody leave DNA? Well, how did the 5 Odinists not leave any DNA? Sometimes it just happens that way, man. That's just the way it is. You know, he didn't have to step in blood. You know, he could have, the spray could have gone somewhere else and it was just a little bit of blood. No, what do you mean they? First of all, there's only, no, he didn't use 2 vehicles. He used 1. Yeah, he's 6 feet tall. Yeah, he just used 1 vehicle. How many people have watched me go over this before? Because when I'm done going over it, you're going to go, oh, yeah, no, he's the killer, right? Unless you have something wrong with your brain, right? That's just the truth of it. That's not fair, Gray. What if we just think? Well, I'm just telling you, man. 1 + 1 = 2. Hey, cool, WNC Granny. So anyways, as part of the investigation, an extensive search, commonly referred to in law enforcement as video canvass, was conducted in the area of the King Road residence. This video canvass was to obtain any footage from the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, in the area of the King Road residence and surrounding neighborhoods in an effort to locate the suspect or suspect's vehicle traveling to or leaving from the King Road residence. This video canvass resulted in the collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both the residential and business addresses. I have reviewed numerous videos that were collected and had a conversation with the MPD officer, ISP detectives, and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained. A review of camera footage indicated that a white sedan, thereafter suspect vehicle 1, we'll just call it Kohberger's vehicle, was observed traveling westbound in the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive. Now, I've driven this whole thing. I have videos where I show it at night and everything. It's right over here. And I actually believe this is the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive. And I think this is the actual house because this one has a camera on the side of it right there. So I think that camera filmed Kohberger's white Elantra driving up that direction. So it's in the 700 blocks of Indian Hills Drive in Moscow at approximately 3:26. This is 3:26 a.m. And westbound on Steiner Avenue at Idaho State Highway 95 in Moscow at approximately 3:28 a.m. On this video, it appears suspect vehicle 1 was not displaying its front license plate. Now, guess what? I was there, and the freaks that are here watching, and that's what we call ourselves, the freaks. Okay, so if you're wondering where that came from, you know, some people have different names like gems. We're called the freaks. All right. Anyways, right here is, it takes exactly that amount of time. So from right here, 326, driving like this, I drove it. You go right through this intersection, it would be 328. Drove right through there, the same vehicle. Now check this out. Let me go try to find it really fast. Yeah, inside of here. Yeah. Now watch this. This is a video that was on another channel out there. Let me open it up. Oh, oops. I guess got rid of the music. But look. See this video? I mean, this is awesome. So if you go, you have to move further up here because now it's 326, 327, 28. Right now it's driving by the A&W. And this is another camera on the other part of, I think it's Linda Lane. Yeah, it's 1320 Linda Lane. It says right down here. And watch. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. I'll pause it. Go out to here. So what's going on right there is the vehicle's driving by. Right here is the A&W. That's 328. Then it drives around like this. And then right here is Linda Lane. So the video you're watching is right there, filming out towards the road. There's a dumpster. See that dumpster there? That little island, etc. Watch. There's the island. There's the dumpster. You see? Let's go back so you can see it. There's the island, the dumpster. Back to the video. See, I try to get it so everybody understands everything perfectly. All right? So you see this. And look what time it is. It's 3:29 in 1 second. Now you have to look right up here. It's small because it's it's back in distance, but you'll see the vehicle driving by. Let me just move it forward a little bit. Yeah, it's 3:29:34. I think I might have just blown by it. Let me just let it play out. I think it's coming up here in like 5 seconds. There it comes. You can see the light. Can you see the light over there? Here it comes. Here it comes. Right now. Boom. Drives by. And that is 3:29 and 51 seconds. It's amazing because that's almost exactly the time that I said it was driving by because I drove out there. Hey, thanks Joseph Brennan and Mostly Harmless. Do you guys see that? Were you able to see that? Just checking. Let's go. Come on. Let's get some responses. You guys see that or not? What I could do is go into here. I'm working on another. Let me do this in here. I can probably make it so it's even easier for people to see it. All right. Let's bring it in. Change existing settings. All right, I'm just going to zoom in. It's small looking now, but what I'm going to do is I can just go like that. Where are we at in the time? 3:20, 3:28. Okay, right now, let's just zoom in. All right, here we go. It's kind of blurry looking, but you'll see it. See the car right there? Here it comes. And you can even see it's a white car, even in that. So there you go. A white car drives by there at 3:29 and 50 seconds. And so it mentions it right here. The vehicle starting at 3:29 and ending at 4:20, they're saying. The sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes. So it actually drives by. And when we say passes, we don't mean like on the main street. I mean, it means they drove right by the house. 3:29 and end at 4:20. The sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes at 1122 King Road residence and then leave via Willanta Drive. So I guess what I didn't originally believe that, but somebody told me a long time ago and I totally disagreed, but now I see it. What they're saying is it makes the 3 initial passes and then eventually leaves on Willanta Drive, not that it went on Willanta Drive on each pass. So based off of my experience as a patrol officer, this is a residential neighborhood with a very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area during the early morning hours. Upon review of the video, there are only a few cars that enter and exit this area during this time frame. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a 4th time, and this is the last time. At 4:04 a.m., it can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52, then driving back westbound on King Road. When suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road resident, it appeared to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around on the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn and then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. The vehicle 1 is next seen departing the area at 4:20. So this is why this is so amazing right here. I'm going to show you guys this thing. I actually have a video here of the 4 passes. So we saw that 3:29 and 51. Now watch this. Look at 3:30 and 26 seconds now. And so what we're looking at is this. Let me show you what we're looking at right now. So what this vehicle does on its loops is it drives by. So we saw it right here at 3:29:51. Drives this direction, and then it actually turns into here, right? Then it goes up back behind this area, drives around, and then comes out right here, and I think would park and look through Madison Mogen's window there. It would go right here. Then it would drive out again. And I had it going up this way, but it's very possible it went this direction and then drove around like this and came back in on the second pass like that. That's also, that's just how I have it. I'll have to do some more analysis on all that. But you got this all making sense to you guys? So that's what the passes are. It comes into the area and then it goes around like this. Now on the 4th one, and what's amazing about it is somebody put out a camera surveillance from this building right here, and it shows exactly those passes. All right, and here it is. So we just saw that at 3:29 and 50 seconds, it was seen on that camera down Willanta Drive or Linda Lane, the other one, right? Now look at what time it is. That vehicle is now pulling in. It's probably on Queen Road, and now it's driving in front of the now. See the light up here on the top of the screen? Look what time it is. Literally just a minute later, that same vehicle is driving back here. Now you'll see it when it comes around the corner here. See that? See that right there? And then it drives by, and you can kind of see it right there. Goes right back through there, and you can actually see it's a white vehicle. Drives by right back there. All right, you see that? That was at 3:31 and 10 seconds when it actually goes by out of the screen. So the timing of that and the vehicle that was spotted on the road matches perfectly. And they know that that's a white Elantra, and it was missing its front license plate. And oh, by the way, in Pennsylvania, where Kohberger's from, you don't need to have a front license plate, but in Washington, you're required to have one. So he didn't have a front license plate on that vehicle. What do you think of that? Pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. And then, let's go keep playing this. So the vehicle leaves the area, and then I'll just fast forward it. Now it's 3:38, so he leaves the area and then comes back again. So watch. You'll see the same vehicle. It's like hunting, stalking the house, looking into the window. Yeah, somebody get rid of that Jack Johnstone. Not interesting. All right, let's see. Right, here we go. So right around 3:39, you see it again. 3:39 and let's see how many seconds. So right there, boom. 3:39 and 7 seconds. It comes around and it does the exact same thing. Look over here. You can see it even has the same profile each and every time. There it is. Drives back, and there it is. Right there. Doing its looping. And what it's doing is it's driving back here. And then coming around, maybe waiting there again, and then it leaves. Now on this third loop, it leaves for quite a long time, for almost double the normal loop time. And if you take a look at it, it comes back at like 350 something. And interestingly enough, this right here is likely his vehicle spotted at a gas station, and that is over here. So during that other loop that took longer, his vehicle drove by and it's spotted right here, driving this direction at 345, going back into the area. All right, so now let's go back up to here. Look at it. Now it's 356. He's coming back to do more looping. He's probably trying to kill time because he's so antsy, but he knows they're not asleep yet because the lights were on. Look at that. Same profile driving by up there. Did you see that? All right, so look at 357.18. Now we're getting on to the last. I mean, it's so amazing how perfectly this camera matches up with the probable cause. So see how it's 357? Now I'm going to move it forward here. Okay. So it says it makes its last pass at 404. Because what they're doing, you guys, they're not using this camera to come up with the time. They're actually using the one out here. It's amazing. They're using this camera. And they see it drive by. Okay, 329. Boom. They see it. So they're using that one. And it drove by there at 404. Because you remember a minute ago, it takes a minute to get back around there. So it drove by here at 404. And then look at 405. It's going to be back here. So let's go and read what it says, what it did. So there it says at approximately 4:04 a.m. it makes its fourth pass. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning around in front of 500 Queen Road. This is amazing. Watch this. So here we go. It's 405. And 404 is when it was driving on the main street, came back around here, and it turns around in front of 500 Queen Road. And by the way, this is the area right here. 500 Queen Road, number 52 is this building. It's that building. So the camera's right here. So you know how we've seen it drive around like this and go like that? Well, now you would expect, since it turned around in front of 500 Queen Road, there should be some activity right there, right? Well, let's go take a look. So we're watching this. It's 4:05 and 10, 11, 12, 13. And trust me, this all makes sense. It all makes sense. And see, look at the lights. The lights are on up there. And they say that it turns around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52. So watch. Now, normally it would turn and go to the right, right? And then we'd see it. But no, it doesn't do that this time. In fact, it actually pulls in and stops right there. And you can tell that it's an Elantra with the windows and everything. It matched perfectly. See how you can see it stopped right there? That's the vehicle. It's stopping, and it's going to turn around. It actually literally does a three-point turn here as well, because it pulls in and then backs up this little hill that's over here. It's pretty amazing how steep that hill is. You can't tell here, though. And then it heads back out, right? So now let's listen to what it said. It's absolutely perfect. It said it turned around in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52, and then drives back westbound on King Road. So let's go back out to the map here. And what happened there is it turned around, went like this, and now it's going back this way, westbound, this direction, right? And then it says it does a three-point turn right there. But right before that, it tried to turn around or stop here. Now, I don't know how they know that. Maybe they're seeing the lights on a building, or there's another camera that we're totally unaware of. But they think it tries to stop or turn around right there. So let's watch it. So at 4:06:07, see how it heads back down that direction behind the building there? I don't know about you guys, but this is definitely super chat worthy, don't you think? How it's heading that direction, and I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying. Right? So just think right now, approximately right now, just use your imagination. It's driving back there. It's now trying to do the thing where it's trying to stop and turn around or park or something, but it can't. So then it's driving now to Queen and King Road. So it's driving kind of slowly right there, let's say, and then right Now it's probably getting to Queen and King Road-ish, maybe at like 407. We don't know how long it tried to stop or turn around. And now it's doing the 3-point turn. Going forward, back. And now it's heading back towards the house. So I would say right now it just got done turning around now. Now it's going this direction again, and it goes back here again, you guys. So we'll probably see the light in a second. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, there it is. See, there it is. 4:07 and 21 seconds. But it's going much quicker this time. Almost double the speed. It's wild. So look what time it is. It's 4:07, 29 seconds. But look how fast it's coming around there. Zoof. Because now he sees that the lights are off, and it's go time. And there it is. Same exact profile. And look what time it is. 4:07 and 39 seconds. So what that means is, after it makes that final lap here, comes around like this. I have so much crap on my screen, but it comes around like this. He likely is able to park by about 4:08. Am I frozen? I think something froze up on me. Wow, I sort of froze for a second there. That was crazy. Hey, thanks, Sunshine Susie. So about 4:08, he would have parked right here. Okay, weird. Yeah, my computer froze. So 4:08, and then I think he did some mitigation, like in terms of like got something ready to go because he knew he'd be bloody after this. And then he gets out of his car, 4:09. Doesn't that sound reasonable? Then he goes down this hill. There's a hill there. Goes into the house. And he kills all of them. Everything that happened in there. And then at 4:20, that same vehicle drives away at a high rate of speed, and it goes on Walanta Drive this time. Like that. And they know, based on various cameras, that it did not go back over this direction, and it went this way. And then it came down here, and would, just based on timing, would come out here at about 4:25 a.m. And then his phone was off, by the way, this entire time, and then it turned back on near Blaine, Idaho, so like right around in this area. And then, based on their mapping, see, it's frozen up again on my screen. So even my my head isn't moving, right? Can you guys see that? Not sure what's going on. I think it might be is this. I was doing some kind of a security. Hey, thank you, Clark Mania. Yeah, it's crazy. But look at all this crap that I have on here. It's wild. They have it like this. This green direction is where he went, and I drove that. It's crazy. You're driving in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Nothing out here. And then he comes back over here, and it heads up, and he's on a camera. A white Elantra drives by here at 5:25 a.m., and then he makes his way back home. It's crazy. But anyways, let's keep going through. But does that kind of give you, like some, you know exactly what we're talking about when the white Elantra is doing his loops, etc.? It's really obvious, right? All right, so let's get back to this. So we just explained it. Did number 52, then it drives back westbound. It did that turnaround in front of 500 Queen Road, number 52. That's the one that's back behind the building there. And then driving back westbound on King Road, when suspect vehicle 1 is in front of the King Road residence, it appears to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn. Now, some of us speculate that the reason he does this thing where he turns around behind there and it doesn't match the other loops is because the DoorDash driver may have still been there, and when he drove by, he was like, kind of went back to check it out again, and then did the 3-point turn and then continued and finished the final loop or pass, whatever you want to call it. Hey, look at that. Cheryl gifted a membership to Double Play Dog Dude. Welcome. And Mindy, makes sense to me. Thanks for the presentation. All right. So then, suspect vehicle 1 is next seen departing the area of the King Road residence at approximately 4:20. So we know that the homicide took place between 4:08 and 4:20. Do you guys agree? And guess what? That knife sheath was deposited during that time frame. Between 4:08 and 4:20, the knife sheath that was found at the crime scene was deposited there. Suspect vehicle 1 is next observed traveling southbound on Walenta Drive. Based on my knowledge of the area and review of camera footage in the neighborhood, that does not show suspect vehicle 1 during that time frame. I believe that suspect vehicle 1 likely exited the neighborhood at Palouse River Drive and Conestoga Drive. Palouse River Drive is at the southern end of Moscow and proceeds into Whitman County, Washington. Eventually, the roads lead to Pullman, Washington. Pullman, Washington is approximately 10 miles from Moscow, Idaho. Both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns, and people commonly travel back and forth between them. Hey, thanks, Kinsman. Law enforcement officers provided video footage of suspect vehicle 1 to forensic examiners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify the year, make, and model of unknown vehicles that is observed by one or more cameras during the commission of a criminal offense. The forensic examiner has approximately 35 years law enforcement experience with 12 years at the FBI. His specific training includes identifying unique characteristics of vehicles, and he uses a database that gives visual cues of vehicles across states to identify differences between vehicles. After reviewing, I think I'm frozen again. Not sure what's going on here. After reviewing the numerous observances of suspect vehicle 1, the forensic examiner initially believed that the vehicle was a 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Now that's where hey, how come that guy didn't have the right year? Well, they all look the same, you guys. Upon further review, they indicated it could also be a 2011 to 2016. And there's just slight differences. As a matter of fact, you can use the same window kit for all from 2011 to 2016. As a result, investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is a 2011 to 2016 white Elantra. Investigators were given access to video footage in the Washington State University campus located in Pullman, Washington. A review of that video indicated that at approximately 2:44 a.m. on November 13th, a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as suspect vehicle 1, was observed on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north and southeast traveling north on Southeast Nevada Street and Northeast Stadium Way at approximately 2:53. So that is it my mouse? But see, I'm frozen too. Like there's something's running. Let me see. Let me just shut that one down for a minute. All right. Not sure what was going on. There's something utilizing my. At least it's not like I'm not locked up permanently. Yeah. So if we go to the map here. It's way over here. So at 2:44 in the morning, it's right in this area. And then at 2:53, it goes this direction. I think prior to, what's interesting is his phone is turned off at 2:47. So I think you see it at 2:44. I think he drives up into this area, gets ready to do what he's doing, turns off his phone, and takes off. Because right at 2:47, his phone quit communicating. It was either turned off or put into airplane mode at 2:47. And then at 2:53, he's going this direction, and I think he likely just kind of drove down like this and got onto the highway over here. because it comes out right there. See that? Yeah, I don't know how they think that. It's crazy. Let's see. Investigators were given access. Yep. Okay. And it says a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman, Washington, towards SR 270. SR 270 connects Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. This camera footage from Pullman, Washington was provided to the same FBI forensic examiner. The forensic examiner identified the vehicle observed in Pullman, Washington as being a 2014 to 2016 high-end Elantra. At approximately 5:25 a.m. that same morning, you guys, a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of Suspect Vehicle 1, was observed on 5 cameras in Pullman, Washington on WSU campus. The first camera that recorded the white sedan was located at, and I'll just show you so we don't have to go. So it comes back in. Look at the time here. So it's 5:27, 5:25. Right here it's seen at 5:25 Johnson Avenue. So it's coming back up this way. See that? 5:25. Then it's seen here at 5:25 also. Then, around that same time right in here. Then 5:27 after he had to wait at a light. 5:27-ish in these areas. And he's heading back. And he lives up here. So he's also spotted right in this area at 5:27, and he lives right there. So, that's just sort of showing that there's this white Elantra that at this point they actually didn't know whose it was, right? They didn't know whose this was. They have it all on camera, though. They know that the white Elantra was likely there from 4:08 to 4:20 at the property, and then the same, which they believe is the same white Elantra, is driving or moving around at various times seen on cameras. And it makes sense, too, given that time frame. I'll go down here. On November 25th, 2022, MPD asked area law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for a white Elantra. So now they're looking for a white Elantra. On November 29, 2022, at approximately 12:28 a.m., Washington State University, so this is, over 2 weeks after the homicide, this guy named Daniel Tiango queried white Elantras registered at WSU. So this wasn't at the Idaho campus, but they're looking over there too. As a result of that query, he located a 2015 white Elantra with a Pennsylvania license plate, LFZ8649. This vehicle was registered to Bryan Kohberger, hereafter Kohberger, residing at 1630 Northeast Valley Road, apartment 201, Pullman, Washington. 1630 Northeast Valley Road is approximately 3/4 of a mile from the intersection of Stadium Way and Cougar Way. Or I just showed you where his house was on the map. And that says, the same day at approximately 12:58 a.m., WSU officer Curtis Whiteman was looking for white Elantras and located a 2015 white Elantra at 1630 Northeast Valley Road as well in Pullman. Officer Whiteman also ran the car and returned to Kohberger with a Washington tag. I reviewed Kohberger's Washington State driver's license information and photograph. The license indicates that Kohberger is a white male with a height of 6 feet and weighs 185 pounds. Additionally, the photograph of Kohberger shows that he has bushy eyebrows. Kohberger's physical description is consistent with the description of the male Mortensen saw inside the King Road residence on November 13th.
Gosh, Gray, so now they're arresting people because they have bushy eyebrows?
That's the kind of logic people have in their arguments. Like, what was the one with Richard Allen lately? They said, so you just arrest somebody for walking on a bridge? I mean, how ludicrous is that, No, they didn't arrest him for walking on the bridge. Okay. At the time, Kohberger, who was the sole occupant... Okay, this is different. Further investigation included a review of Latah County Sheriff Deputy Corporal Duke's body camera, and reports showed that on August 21st, so this is 3 months or so prior, Bryan Kohberger was detained as part of a traffic stop that occurred in Moscow, Idaho by Corporal Duke. We haven't seen that one. At the time, Kohberger was the sole occupant, was driving a white 2015 white Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate LFC 8649. So that shows you that he's over in Moscow, Idaho, which was set to expire on November 30th, ironically. Isn't that amazing? So almost very soon after the homicides, he was able to change that plate with a plausible reason. During the stop, which was recorded via law enforcement's body camera, Kohberger provided his phone number, which is 509-592-8458, hereafter 8458, or just Kohberger's phone, as his cellular telephone number. Investigators conducted electronic database queries and learned that his phone number is a number issued by AT&T. On October 14th, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was detained again as part of a traffic stop by the WSU police officer. Upon review of that body camera and report of the stop, Kohberger was the sole occupant and was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania plate LFC 8649. On November 18th, 2022, according to Washington State Licensing, Kohberger registered the 2015 white Elantra with Washington and later received Washington plate CFB 8708. Prior to this time, the 2015 white Elantra was registered in Pennsylvania. All right, so see how he switched that up? Let's see. Elantra was registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require a front license plate. And if you remember, when it drove by the A&W at 328, it had no front license plate. So that's circumstantial evidence that that white Elantra was his. Based on my own experience and communication with Washington law enforcement, I know that Idaho and Washington require front and back license plates. Investigators believe that Kohberger is still driving the 2015 white Elantra because his vehicle was captured on December 13th by a license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. Kohberger's Elantra was then queried December 15th by law enforcement in Hancock County, Indiana. On December 16th, 2022, at approximately 2:26, surveillance video showed Kohberger's Elantra in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. The sole occupant of the vehicle was a white male whose description was consistent with Kohberger. Ah, jeez. All right, guys, we've frozen up again in here in terms of support for the channel. We're still only at 50%. And there's double play dog dude. All right. Let's see. Based on information provided on WSU website, Kohberger is a PhD student in criminology at Washington State University. Isn't that amazing? See, I think Kohberger was trying to imitate Ted Bundy. Like Ted Bundy moved from Pennsylvania to the state of Washington. And his teacher was teaching, she was a serial killer expert. And then Bundy, as you know, killed college students. And I think that's what he's doing. Yeah. Yeah, Dylan Mortensen has nothing to do with it, you guys. You're immediately removed from my channel if you accuse Dylan Mortensen of having something to do with it. It's not an opinion that I respect at all. As a matter of fact, it's embarrassing. So if you're in here and you're hoping to sort of pin something on Dylan Mortensen or Bethany Funk or any kind of other angle, you can get your ass the hell out of here. I'm just not interested, right? And this is my channel, so see ya. Gosh, Gray, just because they have a different opinion. Jeez, I don't want somebody with your opinion around me. You know, just like I don't like hanging around racist people. Okay, I it's the same thing. It's like they're morons.
I don't know if it's his first one or not. I think it is. He thought he was got it all planned out, and he was just... Yeah, let's hit that like button, you guys. How hard is that to do? Here we go. Hit that like button right now. Hit that like button 10, 20, 25, 30. Hit that like button 40, 45, 50. Hit that like button 60. Go here 70, or 80, or 90. Hit that like button. It's one of the easiest damn things to do in the world. You come into a show, you hit the like button. Use your toes, use your nose. Use your toes, use your nose, whatever blows. Hey, thanks Ocean City Gold. Sandy Shirley, I dare not gift membership. You can, if you gift membership, some of them, I'd say 80% aren't trolls. So if you gift 5, you give 4 to normal people. It still supports the channel, and there's also a chance that they'll stay around, All right. Cool. All right. So it says, based on information provided by WSU website, Kohberger is currently a PhD student in criminology at Washington State University. That must have made them go, ooh. Pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for Pullman Police Department, we learned that Kohberger's past education included undergraduate degree in psychology and cloud-based forensics. These records also showed Kohberger wrote an essay when he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 2022. So just before that he applied. Kohberger wrote in his essay he had an interest in assisting law enforcement agencies with how to better collect. I wonder when he applied, like the date. Was it after the fact and he was going to try to help cover up his own crime? Hey, thanks, Bama Girl. Kohberger wrote in an essay he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data in public safety operations. Kohberger also posted a Reddit survey which can be found by an open source internet search. The survey asked for participants to provide information to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making. Yeah, I saw that. As part of the investigation, law enforcement obtained search warrants to determine cellular devices. Okay, so this is the awesome cellular movement of his phone. But before we do that, I'll show you this. So there's my Wide Elantra video coming up here. This one has some of the interviews in them. Wow, that's a 24-minute long video. Holy crap. But see, look at the Wide Elantras. Look at that. 2011. Do you guys think that's a ridiculous difference? Look at it. I mean, they're literally the same. And then 15 has an extra, let's see, 13, 14. I guess let's see what 15 is. 15. So 15 has this little tiny light right there. That's the only difference. I mean, the main difference. I mean, other than that, they look the same. All right. And look, this is one where, look at, I take the car. See the White Elantra back there? So watch the windows. They're just the same, exactly the same. It's a different angle slightly, but you can see that the window shape's the same. Look at that. See that? So that's the White Elantra. And then here's the one where on October 14th that was just mentioned where he talks to an officer. See, that's the same vehicle, right, you guys? I mean, let me turn it up.
What actually happened was I was stuck in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah, this guy, he talks too much. Yeah, now, listen, let me just... There we go.
Hello,
Officer.
I am Officer Loangus. Stops being audio and video recorded. I think you know why I stopped you. You ran the red light.
What actually happened was I was stuck in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah,
so
I was
forced
behind
to
you
turn
the whole
left.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically you're not supposed to enter the intersection at all for that reason, because if the light turns red, then you're stuck in the intersection and then you run the red light. So That's the reason I stopped you. Do you have your license on you?
Yep.
Do you have the registration and insurance?
Yes. Let me just get this for you out.
You what?
I'm just gonna get this out for you.
Okay.
Note the bushy eyebrows.
So would you explain that to me a little bit further? So in Pennsylvania, when you're stuck like in the intersection, you have to make the left. So what would the appropriate thing for me to have done?
I claim the intersection myself.
You're
Up
not
in
supposed
that
to
situation?
block an intersection
I-
like that in
yeah,
Washington.
I do,
So
every time.
just by you blocking the intersection, that's technically a ticketable violation, and then you're running a red light, so it's another ticketable offense.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to proceed into the
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. If you don't claim an intersection, you could be sitting there for 4 hours during rush hour because it relies on somebody to be polite.
intersection until you can go, because a lot of people do what you just did, right? Is like you're sitting in the intersection waiting, and then it turns, and then you're blocking. So
Yeah, there was a little bit of confusion with speeding because someone had stopped. I wasn't sure what they were doing, and then they put on their light to turn. So I thought that maybe they would place your vehicle.
She hasn't killed anybody
yeah.
yet.
So I know laws vary state to state, but there is a law in Washington for blocking an intersection like that, proceeding through when you don't, when you're just stalling. I forget the actual verbiage. I can find it for you, but it's like stalling, blocking an intersection.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the law. I don't mean to.
Oh no, yeah, I
I'm
can
not,
find
like,
it for you.
disagreeing with
Yeah.
anything. But,
1 second.
Yeah. You'll be my next
Looks
victim, he's
good
thinking.
on a Hyundai. I don't see Pennsylvania registration like at all. Okay, let's see. Expires November 22nd or 2022. Okay. And
yeah, one of those is actually.
yeah, okay, that looks good. I'll hand that back to you. I'm just gonna go check your info. I'll try to find that RCW, the law for you.
But look,
And
the
I'll be
windows
right
are
back.
the same as the one that was
Right.
driving back. See that? I mean, it's the same car. It's a white Elantra. Hey, thanks, Tony Nelson. Wait, aren't you from, isn't that the same person's name that's on I Dream of Jeannie? But probably a guy.
Sierra 331 Code 4 driver.
The astronaut.
Last of Kohberger, King, Ocean, Henry, Boy, Edward, Robert, George, Edward, Robert. First of Bryan, Boy, Robert, Young, Adam.
Ah, they make you wait a while, don't they? There it is. Boom. And the window. Look at the window. Ah, right there. Look at that. Bam. Same window.
Okay,
Alright.
so I found it. So I don't know what in Pennsylvania where you go to find laws, but in Washington it's called the Revised Code of Washington. So I'll try to turn my brightness up, but it's just called an RCW. So it's RCW 46.61.202. So it's no driver shall enter an intersection unless there is significant space on the other side of the intersection. To accommodate the vehicle he is operating without obstructing the passage of other vehicles, despite any traffic control signal indications to proceed. So you had a green light, so you're thinking you can go, but you're blocking the intersection. So that's if you're ever curious,
That's like
any
pretty-
laws in Washington, just
That's like somebody trying to find something to give somebody a ticket for.
Revised Code of Washington.
But thanks
So
for
I'm not
doing
writing a
it, because
ticket
now
or
we have a
anything like
video.
that today. I understand you're from Pennsylvania, but in the future, don't proceed through the intersection. You can't get stopped for that alone, unless
He probably has another quip to
clear
add
it.
in
Just
there.
clear it right away.
Okay.
So
So then basically, I understand.
you're just supposed to wait behind the white line. Drivers do it all the time,
It
but
never even occurred to me that was actually something wrong. But
yeah.
well, except for the fact that
Me
I was
either.
blocking the crosswalk, which is what
Yeah.
I went through.
And states vary a lot from laws. Like Pennsylvania might not even have that law, but in Washington we do.
I'm actually just from a very rural
Ah,
area.
cool, Queen Bee.
So
All right.
we just don't have crosswalks.
Oh,
unless
We've covered it
for
since the beginning. We've covered it the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do apologize if I was asking you too many questions about the law.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to
So if you're not aware, like I covered this, I've made I don't know, 60 videos on this case and covered it many times. We're just getting back to it again. Because this case, to me, is exactly, it's way more damning even than, if you can find something more damning than the Delphi case, but that's this one.
No, not at all. Like, I understand you're not from here, so if you don't, a lot of people don't know a bunch of laws. Like, I only know it because this is what I do, but yeah. If you're ever curious on any more laws, just RCW, and they can be hard to read because it's in like legal language, but
okay, great. Let's see. Let's go to this one. There's another one. Well, these are the later, when he's pulled over on his trip back after, they were kind of already aware of him, but on his way back all the way to Pennsylvania, they pulled him over. Oh, there he is again. There's that window. There's that window, you guys.
Hello. How you doing? How y'all doing? Good. Take your driver's license real quick if I could. See, he's right up on the van, man. You right up on the back of that van. Go over for tailgating. Is this your car? Okay. Cool. Where you headed?
Well,
Yeah, see, he says, we're heading up there to get some Thai food. And that's all he wanted to say, but then his dad jumps in with something. He's looking at his dad like, oh, shit.
we coming from WSU.
Coming from WSU, yeah.
We're standing for
He's like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
What's WSU?
University, basically. That is SWAT team area.
Now he's diverting the attention from the officer to a different event. I think that might even be the Kopaka event.
I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic. So you're coming from Washington State University, and you're going there? Oh.
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're slightly much driving.
Isn't this in Indiana?
Hours,
Right here?
days.
Driving.
Yeah.
Okay. And what'd you say about some SWAT team?
Yeah, this is in Indiana on his way to Pennsylvania. That's what I said. I didn't say where it was. I just said on his way to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there was a mass shooting and everything. We don't know if it's
Where?
He's like, shut up, Dad, shut up. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Then there's another one. Not long later, it gets pulled over again. And I think this is what freaked out Kohberger. When he got home, he got paranoid about his DNA because of these two times he was pulled over here.
State police got your license and registration. I stopped you, man, when you were driving by me there. You were a little too close to the back of that semi. I got one car between you and the back of this trailer.
He said the same thing. He was tailgating again. If you can believe that.
6 or 7 cars.
Well, anyways, it's basically the same shit, same stories they're telling. I think the dad was kind of aware what the hell was going on with this kid. Let's see. So let's just go down here. Based on my training experience and conversations with law enforcement officers that specialize in utilization of cellular telephone records as part of investigation, individuals can either leave their cellular telephone at a different location before committing a crime or turn their phone off prior to committing the crime. This is done by subjects in an effort to avoid alerting law enforcement that a cellular device associated with them was in a particular area where a crime is committed. I also know that on numerous occasions, subjects will surveil an area where they intend to commit a crime prior to the date of the crime. Depending on the circumstances, this could be done a few days before or several months prior to the commission of a crime. And that's what he did. Kohberger went into the area of the King Road residence like multiple times, 10 or what was it, 11 or 12. During these types of surveillance, it's possible that an individual would not leave their yeah, exactly. So they're not committing the crime that day, so they don't care about turning their phone off. So they would not leave their cellular telephone at a separate location or turn it off. On December 23rd, 2022, I applied for and was granted a search warrant for historical phone records between November 12th, the day before the same evening of the homicide, and then into the morning at 12 a.m. on November 14th. I'm sure they've done a deeper dive than that. Kohberger's phone, held by the phone provider AT&T, approximately 24 hours preceding and following the times of the homicide. All right, guys, we're currently at about 70%. So if you guys can help support the channel, that'd be great. We're actually 50, 60, 75 short of a goal on this show, all right, with 673 people. Should be pretty easy. Yeah. Definitely not like the old days, but let's see. So on December 23rd, pursuant to the search warrant, I received the records. Let me go down to here. It's just kind of boring up here. The cast information. On November 13th, 2022 at approximately 2:42 a.m., Kohberger's phone was utilizing cellular resources that provided coverage to 1630 Northeast Valley Road apartment. So that's at his apartment at 2:42. We hereafter, the Kohberger residence. Approximately 2:47 a.m., Kohberger's phone utilizes cellular resources that provide coverage southeast of the Kohberger residence. So his phone and and his vehicle, so his phone and a white Elantra are on the move at 2:47 a.m. in Pullman, Washington. Let's see. Phone stop reporting to the network. So it says at approximately 2:47 a.m., Kohberger's phone stops reporting to the network, which is consistent with either the phone being in an area without cellular coverage, the connection to the network is disabled, such as putting the phone in airplane mode, or that the phone is turned off. The Kohberger phone does not report to the network again until 4:48 a.m. So during this 2-hour window, the phone was turned off or in airplane mode. Thanks, Kiki Cabana. How about the rest of you guys? Let's get going in here. Let's see. Then it's at which time it utilizes cellular resources that provided coverage to Idaho State Highway 95 south of Moscow, Idaho, near Blaine, Idaho. Between 4:50 a.m. and 4:26 a.m., the phone utilizes cellular resources that are consistent with the Kohberger's phone traveling south of Idaho State 95 to Genesee, Idaho, then traveling west towards Union, Idaho. And I timed this thing, you guys. It is exactly the time that they got here. It's crazy. Between 4:50 a.m. and 5:26 a.m., the phone utilizes cellular resources that are consistent with Kohberger's phone traveling south to Genesee, Idaho, then traveling west towards Uniontown, then north back to Pullman, Washington. At 5:30 a.m., Kohberger's phone is utilizing resources that provide coverage to Pullman, Washington, and consistent with the phone traveling back to Kohberger's residence. Kohberger's phone movements are consistent with the movements of the white Elantra that is observed traveling north on Stadium Drive at 5:27. Based on review of Kohberger's phone, estimated locations and travel, Kohberger's travel is consistent with that of the white Elantra. Further review indicated that Kohberger's phone utilizes cellular resources on November 13th, 2022 that are consistent with him leaving the area of Kohberger's residence at about 9 a.m., so later in the morning. So he gets home at like 5:30-ish. And at 9 a.m., he travels back to Moscow, Idaho. And Kohberger's phone utilized cellular resources that would provide coverage to the King Road residence between 9:12 and 9:21 a.m. The Kohberger phone next utilized cellular resources that are consistent with Kohberger's phone traveling back to the area of the Kohberger residence and arriving to the area at approximately 9:32 a.m. So he goes all the way over there and then back home. So he just drove by. He's probably hoping there'd be people, milling around, but nobody would even know that they were dead at this point. Maybe Dylan had an idea, but who knows? I don't know what timing of the texts are, etc. Below is a depiction, not scale, of the possible route. So this route right there is basically this one. So what they were saying is, so if you just look at the timing of this, the White Elantra is right here at 3:26, drives up like that, drives right by the A&W at 3:28, drives by this road right here, which is Linda Lane, at 3:29 and 50 seconds. Then it drives around, and then at 3:30 and 50 seconds, it does the first loop, and then it does all these different loops, etc. Then, hey, thanks Peggy Day and Vivacious Val. Then on its last loop, it comes in at 4:05. Then it turns around back here, goes this way, tries to stop or turn around right there. Then does a 3-point turn in this area, then goes back this way and around at like 4:07:40 over here, and then parks his car at 4:08. And then at 4:20, that same White Elantra is seen driving away at a high rate of speed. And here, I'll show you. No, that's not it. Not that one. Right here. What do you think? Uh-oh, I just froze again. Hold on. Hopefully it'll kick back in. There it is. So right there, and then it turns around. That camera's on this building. It's looking just like that. And so that vehicle's driving around. Now imagine how clear that's going to be with the White Elantra. Man, it's crystal clear stuff, man. Sorry, troll wackos out there. That's not nice, Gray, just 'cause they think differently. Well, I know, but do you respect somebody that says 1 + 1 is 92 and they won't budge? Yeah, I would hope not, because I don't. All right, based on my training experience, the facts of the investigation thus far, I believe that Kohberger, the user of his phone, was likely the driver of the White Elantra that is observed. Oh yeah, so what I was continuing to show you was, so after that last loop, and then speeding away at 4:20, he drives around like this, comes out down here at 4:25, and then gets on to Highway 95, and then there is missing time, by the way, you guys. There's like 15 minutes of missing time that he went somewhere, either pulled over somewhere, maybe he was getting rid of the bloody clothes for the night so that if he got pulled over it wouldn't be in the car. I don't know. But there's like 15 minutes of missing time. And then when he's down here and he's feeling safe, this is only 23 minutes after. It only takes about 6 or 7 minutes to get here, believe it or not, from the start of Highway 95. So that's why it's missing time. This is 4:48. And he turns his phone on down here because now he's feeling safe. And thanks up there to Queen Bee, Aga Gaga, Vivacious Val, and Peggy Day. And then, so that's 4:48. So just picture all the timing here. How can this not be? That's his phone turned on here. And it's heading south from Moscow just after the homicides. So he's driving this direction, and then he comes around and he makes his way across, and his cell phone's utilizing different towers and so forth. And then a White Elantra, it's exactly this time frame, is seen driving here at 5:25, heading up like this, etc. Now they claim that he went over to this place over, he claims, oh, it was over there at Wawaway Park. It's impossible for him to have been at Wawaway Park and have his phone ping over there and be back over here at 525. It doesn't work for him. It's just not accurate. He could not have been, his phone couldn't have pinged here at 448, and then he goes all the way over to this park over here, and then somehow makes it back into Pullman at 525, because when I drove it, you had to stick right to it, and boom, it was 525. This is way out of the way over here. See what I'm saying? Right. On December 23rd, 2022, I was granted a search warrant for Kohberger's historical GSLI from June 23rd to the current prospective location information and pen register. Let me go down here. On December 23rd, 2022, pursuant to that search warrant, I received historical records for Kohberger's phone from AT&T from the time the account was opened on June 2022. After consulting with CAST, I was able to determine estimated locations for Kohberger's phone from June to present time. The records for Kohberger's phone show that Kohberger utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to 1122 King Road at least 12 times as he was stalking that location. Isn't that crazy? Prior to November 13th. All of these occasions except for one occurred in the late evening and early morning hours. See, he's creeping around at 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you too, Jace. Come on, Jace, let's get going here, man. Donate. Come on. Help support the channel. You can do it, Jace. One of these occasions, on August 21st, 2022, Kohberger's phone utilizes cellular resources that providing coverage to King Road residents from 10:34 to 11:35. At approximately 11:37, Kohberger was stopped by Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Corporal Duke, as mentioned above. The Kohberger phone was utilizing cellular resources consistent with the location of the traffic stop during this time. They mentioned that earlier. Further analysis of cellular data provided showed that Kohberger's phone utilizes cellular resources on November 13th, consistent with the phone traveling from Pullman, Washington to Lewiston, Idaho. So this is interesting here. At approximately 12:36 p.m., I'll just go over this myself. I can do it. So the phone made its way down this direction, and then he was way down to Lewiston, Washington here. And then he pulls over to this like Kate's Cup of Joe, and you could almost pretend that that's his white launcher right there. Who knows? And then it utilizes the resources of Kate's Cup of Joe at 12:36. And at the very same time, so his phone utilized that, right? So Kohberger's phone utilizes Kate's Cup of Joe at 12:36. And then at the very same moment, this building over here, I think it's called the Food Chef Store, filmed the white Elantra. So now you have the phone and white Elantra in the same spot. Okay, now it's like, okay, so somebody else could be using his phone and got his white Elantra. Yeah. And then, unfortunately for Kohberger, the same phone and the same Elantra pull into the Albertsons parking lot here, and Kohberger himself gets out of the vehicle and goes into Albertsons. Now you know for certain that Kohberger has his phone, he has his vehicle, and this is the same suspect vehicle number 1. And it's him. So it's visually Kohberger. He goes into Albertsons and buys stuff. And there's a lot of time. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. So after this, there's a whole bunch of time missing. And then at like 5:30 I think it's like 532 to 536. His phone utilizes the Johnson Washington Tower here, and then it goes off the grid again. I mean, it's like, but there's 4 hours of missing time before that same day. And then Kohberger, the knife sheath that was found in the house, 1122 King Road, so it's right here. The knife sheath that was found in this house right here on Madison Mogen's bed, turns out that it has Bryan Kohberger's DNA on it. Now the FBI did and it was funny because when this first happened, I go, can't the FBI, like, if you got rid of, I asked Misty Gillis, a forensic genetic genealogist, I said, if you were able to just everyone else aside and you everybody and all the different down the chain of getting a sequence of DNA, how long would it take? And I think she said 2 days maybe, if you didn't have to wait for somebody else, like you just. And so they got the DNA sequence off of this touch DNA off of the knife sheath that was found next to Madison Mogen. And then they did genetic genealogy. And that's really genetic genealogy. All the pro-burger morons out there, they think, oh my God, man, there's something weird about the way they did. It doesn't matter. Forensic genetic genealogy is just a lead, you guys. They just say, listen, our investigation looking into the forensic genetic genealogy shows that it's likely this Bryan Kohberger person. So then law enforcement has to go verify if it is him. So they went out to the residence in Pennsylvania. They went through the trash, and amazingly, you guys, they didn't find any DNA related to Bryan Kohberger. You guys, the visual snow thing is such a waste of time, that argument, the discussion about it. It's just such a waste of time. I'm just telling you. It's just, hey, that's why he didn't see Dylan. It's why he didn't. Who cares? Anyways, listen, they went into the garbage can. They got a DNA sample, and they didn't find Bryan Kohberger's DNA. Bryan's in there, because he had been separating his trash out and putting it into the neighbor's garbage can. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just not. It's not relevant to what we're talking about, I guess is what I'm saying. And then the what was it? Yeah. So what happened then was, because it came back with the DNA from. Well, I don't know why you're talking about it, Zozo. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're saying. People want to. All they ever bring up is he has visual snow. That's why he didn't see Dylan Mortensen. It's irrelevant. It's just, it has nothing to do with this case. But people, the pro-burger types, use it for various reasons. It's all over the place. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just saw it mentioned a few times. Let's see. How did he forget the sheath? He might have left it there intentionally. Could have been a calling card. He didn't know that there was this little tiny bit of DNA on the button. He went out of his way to make sure there was no DNA on the knife sheath, right? And then all of a sudden, there is, there's little tiny bit of touch DNA, single source DNA on the bottom of the button. And it could have been that he left it there. Maybe inside the house, that's one of the things you could say, is let's say he killed Madison Mogen and Kaylee Gonzalez, right? See that? What does that mean, LM? What's next Tuesday? I didn't say anybody can't talk about what they want. I'm just saying, I've heard this visual snow argument so many times. See, LM, do you ever come in here and just have like a normal conversation instead of stirring the pot like you do? Just every single time. And you always throw me off of what the hell I'm talking about. Nobody came in here for you. All right. So, anyways, so they got a warrant after they determined that the DNA in the garbage can was Bryan Kohberger's dad. They got a warrant and they swabbed Bryan Kohberger's mouth. I don't know what she's saying, Zozo. Every time she comes in there, it's just, you know, you give her a shot and there's always some weird shit comment back. I don't know what she's saying. But so here's how it all worked. When they got Bryan Kohberger's DNA, they swabbed his cheek. They then did a 1-to-1 comparison to the DNA on the knife sheath, and they got a match that, you know, it's almost inconceivable, the odds. It's like it was in the octillion numbers. You know, like there's billion, trillion, kabillion. Just kidding. But, you know, I think I'm frozen. Can you guys still hear me at all? Oh, there we go. Now I'm back moving again. I don't know. Is that what that means? How does see you next Tuesday mean that? Okay, so you guys can hear me. Does that make sense though, you guys? So they checked the garbage can out, and they were able to get the DNA from the father, and then that was enough to get a warrant for his arrest, and then they got his DNA, and it matched 100%. Like there isn't another person. You'd have to find, like, we did the math one time. It's you can't even do math on it. It's too high of a number. I like to do how many planet Earths with 8 billion people would you have with with the same DNA structure would you have to come up with that? And it's a crazy number. But hey, you guys, we're still not at the goal. So if you're out there and you can help support the channel, that'd be great. We're about what is it? I don't know, 30 away from me being able to donate 5 memberships myself. All right. Yeah, Bryan Kohberger is absolutely the killer in this case. There's no chance. I don't know what that means, though. I don't know how. What does it mean? Oh, is that what that means? Oh, I see. Jeez. I didn't even figure that out, Zozo. I get it now. Yeah. Why do you do that, LM? It's just weird. I see. I get it now, yeah. I just figured it out on my own. Yeah. And so Bryan Kohberger, his vehicle, and his excuse is that he was driving around that night. You know? Oh, yeah. He was just driving around that night. And he doesn't really say where. Well, maybe we were over at this park, Wawaway Park. You know, come on, you guys. What I think his attorneys have been trying to get him to cut a deal. It's obvious. I just got a text message. Yeah, he's stargazing. You know, he's just a worldly person. Who wouldn't want to date Bryan Kohberger? You know, that's what you can always ask people. Let me ask, are you comfortable enough saying he's innocent where you wouldn't mind if you slept over at your house, maybe leave a few knives next to him? I would, Gray. I really would be. He's absolutely innocent. And mark my words, everybody, the same nut jobs that you see covering the Delphi case that think that Richard Allen is not guilty are going to be covering the Idaho 4 case and will have the same opinion on Bryan Kohberger. That's what they do. That's their gig. Now, if you want to be somewhere where, because later on we'll be able to put this all together and it'll be way better, right? I mean, just completely organized in a way that you'll just look at it and go, okay, yep. Hey, thanks, Bren Mannock. Yep, we're not there, you guys. We're not there. We're 29 away from me giving away 5 memberships. That's how slow it was tonight with 731. All right, I'm going to go try to find the some of these videos that I've made where you're driving around, you'll get a better perspective of it. I do it at night too. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Cheryl. Oh yeah, it's that one. Alright. Gotta open this up. GoPro footage. It's pretty cool, actually. I don't know if this is it. Guess we'll see. Oh yeah. Jesus. I think this one drive doesn't have a very good connection. How's the audio? Can you hear again? Oh, there it is. This is okay. So where we're at right now on that is right here. I think we're driving just like that. So this is behind 500 Queen Road again. For those of you who haven't seen it live, like, this is what it looked like to Kohberger's. Oh wait, sorry. This is what it looked like right here. Watch. Right behind there. So right over here is where he turned around the one time and then came back. But watch. This is what he did on those other ones. Watch. 330, 338, 357, 404, and 408. That's what it looks like back here. See, it goes up this steep hill, space behind, backing around. And then you come out. Thanks, Laura C. And this is probably where you would come around on each of his passes and park right here. This is creepy. Probably like right. See, there's the house area. Right there. As you can see right in front of us there, that's the house. See, there it is. That's the deck. I don't know if you can see, but there's the deck, and that's Madison Mogan's room. And from this position, right there is a piece of wood. So from right here, you could see if her light was on or off. So, man, that balcony right there is literally the house of 1122 King Road. I've been there twice. Sat here like this, probably turned his lights off even. You know, probably like goes like this, and he's just watching through the windows. You know. Right. Yeah. Oh, so I left again. This is what Kohberger did when he's done. This is him leaving at a high rate of speed. This is where he tried to turn around or park or something. That's 1112 King Road right there. This is where that video was that I just showed you where that car was driving by. And now we're back up. This is where he did the three-point turn here. That's where the three-point turn was also. Except I'm going forward. That's Sigma Chi right across the street. We're 24 there. Short, you guys. There's Sigma Chi. And this is the way he left at the end, but I actually think he might be going the other direction. Man, I got my stepkid with me here. Actually, I just call him my son because I don't have any other any kids at all. Yeah, that was right when he first came over. And it's the worst damn super chat night of the year. It's just like tonight. Yeah, you guys everybody quit helping support the channel at some point. Weird. Every single time, up high, coming around. We just did the one. This is the backwards loop here. Yeah, so I guess it goes the other way. I'll have to go back out and redo this. Man. Yeah. Nothing worse when you go on a trip like that. And that's why it's hard to make these trips. There's another time. Yep. That's what it looks like, really. Good, alright. See, I think this is what it looked like this is right before they tear it down. So I went there the year before. So I went there. I don't know, it's weird. I went there. I've been there twice. So I went there once, like quite a while ago. And then I went once when they tore the building down.
I had one called Humongous with that same last. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm just going to pull over really quick right here.
Yeah, see up here you can look out the window and see driving by here. So it could have been that Kohberger drove by at that 9-something in the morning on this road here, and then could see over to the left. Hit that like button, guys, and subscribe, and maybe become a channel member tonight. We only got 5. Kind of sucks. I guess I didn't look out on that one. I think I have another video that is just that, though. I think this is a good one. This one right here. Hold on. Alright, so now we're leaving again. This is like King and Queen Road, and then taking a left on... I forgot the name of that one. But it's going to be Walenta Drive coming up here. Right at that sign there, it becomes that. Right here. Alright, so now you can see the house right back there. See that? So you could come by and check to see if there was any activity. You can see it right there, right there. See? Back there. It's not there anymore. It's not even on Google Earth satellite imagery on the newest one that's out. So I got that, and let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, that's the house right there. Hey, Charlotte Denny gifted 5. All right. Thanks, David Einstein. Okay. What's this one? So I did all the drives, you know. I did the 700 Indian Hills Drive all the way to the oh yeah, so this might be it right here, I think. Let's see, it goes up, and I think I turn to the right, and we'll be on Indian Hills Drive here in a minute. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, okay, this could be wow, that was pretty random. So I think what we're looking at right here is I was right there, and I just turned up, and I'm like this. So I should be turning here, and then I'll end up being right where Indian Hills Drive is. So, you know, he could have came down like this. I'm just coming in from over here, Palouse River Drive. So let's take a look. So right in a minute here, I'll be getting there and taking a right. It's kind of dark, but should be able to see it. I think this is it. It might be a totally different spot, though. I don't even... Yeah, so it looks like it's taking a right. And here we go. And this is showing you the exact route that white Elantra took, a.k.a. Bryan Kohberger. All right, we're now 10 short of me gifting 5. So here it comes up, coming up. Yeah. And then I think this is now going to be Indian Hills Drive. Let's see. Right here, left on, right there. So here we go, taking left. And this is Indian Hills Drive.
Here on Indian Hills Drive here is where
And then right over here is where that camera is.
Yeah. Where he was picked up on camera, the white Elantra, at 3:26. to stay in the middle of the lane.
I mean, the timing's so perfect.
Yep, and this will come out on Steiner,
It only takes like 2
the
minutes.
back way that he was driving.
Take a left here. Hey, thanks, Lee W. Marine. There you go. Thank you.
That's right? Yep. Now we're on Steiner, I believe, right? I think.
Yeah, so it only takes about 2 minutes total to get from where you turn onto Indian Hills Drive to the Dairy Queen.
It says Steiner on
So where we're at right now is
on that sign I just.
we just drove all the way up like this, and now we're like this.
Right up here, right? Yeah, right up here.
Steiner, and we get to this intersection, and then the Dairy Queen, or not the Dairy Queen, the A&W will be on the right there.
Which is right here.
See, there it is.
Yep.
Right through the
Highway
intersection.
95.
So here's the intersection. This is exactly the way he drove right here.
Which goes past the 76 station, and as you can see.
Late at night, there wouldn't be any cars out here. This is just there's no light. You just wait for a space.
So as we go through this intersection here. on
And
the
thanks
right,
Charlotte Denny
there's
again
a
for those
restaurant that
5
has
memberships
surveillance
up there.
cameras,
Very kind.
And that was at 328.
So you just passed there.
Kohberger's vehicle.
So let's time this. Let's time this.
So as
Okay.
we go through,
So they say he drives by here at 3:28,
on the right is an A&W restaurant. that
and
has
right now it is 3 minutes and 36 seconds into the video. So let's see when it is when we drive by Linda Lane, the other camera.
And that was at 328, and picked up Kohberger's
So it's
vehicle,
3:35.
the white Elantra without its front license plate.
And we go right.
Up here. There you go, and that's where, you know, those loops that he took, it comes out right there.
What does timeline mean? I don't get it.
I'll show you. Never see how this is sloping up like this?
Yeah, we've
And we're
gone over it a
right-
million times.
Here, watch. I'll show you here.
All right, so he gets over here. Turn left. So now we're, you could pretend that was 3:28, and now we're 4 minutes 15. Let's see.
Yeah, I know how to get those from here.
You know it.
Yep.
I think it's right there. So that was a minute later. So if it was, yeah, so you're in the 229. So it's probably like 228, 3:28 and 40 seconds or so. And then a minute later it drives by right there. Maybe it's a little bit further up though, actually, now that I think about it.
There you go.
335.
There's that Sigma Chi right there.
Oh yeah, I think it should be right.
And here is King Road.
Okay. So just back there a little bit. So yeah, it makes total sense. A minute 10 or so later,
So
it
that's when you're on street view, right?
drives by at 3:29 and 40 seconds, or 50
That's the
seconds,
house that has a surveillance camera.
and then pulls into this area at 3:30 and 50
The house
seconds
right there,
back
that's-
here.
That's the house right there with all the boarded up windows and everything.
That's a pretty good one. I actually drove this whole route all the way from,
Yeah.
and look how quick that was, you guys. This is only 5 minutes and 21-minute video, and I drove from all the way from
And come around and
Indian
look
Hills
over
Drive to
there.
here, all the way back around even, for the first loop.
Come around just like that. Turn. And I think come around right here. And watch this.
Yeah. And Kohberger also got kicked out of his grad school program because of his odd behavior.
See that? He could sit right.
He's also on a list at a bar because he was strange to women.
Right there. Is that crazy or what?
Yeah.
All right there. Come right here.
So it's very possible that the car actually takes a right and goes around the other direction on these loops that it does. But anyways, what do you guys think? You know, here's the inside of the house one more time. Let's go back to that. Now we're frozen again. Jeez. Man, what's going on? I think there's just too many things open. But that shouldn't be a problem. Everything on my screen is frozen. Isn't my head frozen to you guys? Like, it's not moving, right? Right, there we go. It just released itself. Alright, here's the front door of the house. That's so weird. On my screen it's frozen. Everything's frozen. Weird. Alright, anyways, open the front door. This is Bethany Funk's room. So just get this in your head how this works. This is the front door of the entire house. So again, from outside it looks like this. Alright, so I modeled this whole thing. It took a long time over many different iterations, but there he is. This is a person entering the home. I have a camera attached to their head, so it makes it easy to, just kind of looks more natural looking. And then they go to Bethany Funk's room. So right when you come in, to the right is a storage room, and then in front there's like a bathroom and a laundry room, these two rooms here. And this right here is Bethany Funk's bedroom. Okay, but then just as you came in that front door right there were stairs that go up. Then you go upstairs into the living room. And in the living room, if you take a right, hard right, it goes right to where Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin were found in Xana Kernodle's bedroom right here. Then you go this direction, back out from their room, take a right. I mean, this is really a condensed small little house here. Then you go this direction, but it's weird, you know. So you go this way, and then right underneath, just to the left of the stairs, and right below Madison Mogen's bedroom is Dylan Mortenson's room. So we go in there, and if you were just to look up in the air, that's right below Madison Mogen's room. So while they were being killed, she's right below. Then, you know, leave her room, there's a kitchen there, but then you go up the stairs, and at the top of the stairs, you take a left, and that is Kaylee Gonzalez's room. Hey, thanks so much, Double Play Dog Dude. Great timeline and animations, just wonderfully done. Hey, thank you so much. And there's a dog right there. Then this is Madison Mogen's room. That's a bathroom right there in front. That's likely why, you know, some of the sound from them were not heard on the camera, because it wasn't against that wall. The wall sort of buffered it. So here's the room, and there's the deck out the back there that we were showing earlier on my actual video from being there. And then here is Madison Mogen on the bed. There's a knife sheath next to her, and Kaylee Gonzalez was apparently kind of like that, sort of sitting up, leaning over, and that's it. Then the killer, after, you know, killing everybody, takes off through the kitchen like this. But, you know, one of the theory that I more recently had was, you know, thing that always bugs you is the, you know, it's going to be okay, I'm going to help you, something like that, is, so let's just say he killed Madison and Kaylee first, and on the way down, something, you know, he was made aware of Ethan and Xana, and he fought with them. And then what if after he fought, like he killed Ethan, and he thought he killed Xana, but then let's say right at that moment he realizes he's done, he's about to put his knife sheath away, and he can't find the sheath. So then he goes upstairs really quick again, and he just bolts up there, goes up there again, and he can't find it. But that's when, he doesn't know where it is, he just can't find it. And that's when Xana is downstairs whining, and now he's like, I can get the hell out of here. And he hears her whining and her crying downstairs. So he goes downstairs, or whimpering sound, not whining. It was a whimper sound and crying. So he goes back downstairs and he says, hey, it's okay, I'm here to help you, and finishes her off. That's where there's a thud. And then now he's leaving after killing 4 people. And that's when Dylan sees him, and he turns to the right and goes out the kitchen and leaves. I think that's a pretty accurate, and it puts into, I mean, that theory puts into like everybody's questions about the knife sheath, the wording, everything like that. I think it kind of works. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Almost makes, I didn't even think about the part like he's ready to put the knife away, and he's like, where's my sheath? And he looks around, he just doesn't see it up on the bed, on the, kind of on the side. He's not really looking there. And now he's like, I gotta get the hell out of here. And then he hears the whining, and he's like, holy shit. And he goes downstairs, and the crying, and he has to finish her off. And I think that kind of makes sense. Oh, easily enough time, yeah. You guys should go watch my videos on the channel where I say, what is it called, Zoe? Is it like 7 minutes of something? Hey, thanks. Let it be 77. Maybe we'll play that one just for the hell of it at the end here. Let me go to my channel, see if I can find it. You'll see how there's plenty of time. The trolls never think so, but you know. Yeah, there it is. Come on. Am I frozen again? I'm trying to open up this video. It's weird. It's not happening. Oh, this is 17 minutes long. Yeah, man, there's something's like buffering. Something's not really working, but I have these videos where I show, I actually have the clock ticking as he enters the home, and man, you have to wait so long in each of the rooms. It really just kind of makes it's pretty obvious at that point. Let me close that down. Maybe that'll fix it. I don't know. We'll see. Trying to open it up. Let me switch providers. Maybe that's the problem. I'm going to switch it over to Hughes. There we go. All right. Hopefully it keeps everything going here. Is that working? I'm still connected, right? It's wild though. Look at it, it's not uploading this stuff. Strange. I don't know. You guys can go out and try to find it. All you have to do is type in 7 minutes on my channel and you'll see it. It goes through the entire, like the loops and everything, and then look, he goes into the house. This is how much time that would be. And it's really obvious at that point, like, oh yeah, he could easily do that. Like the amount of time he's spending up in the room of Kaylee and Madison, you just kind of go, oh yeah. I just have it go dark, and there's a clock ticking. And I think if you just kind of use your imagination, you'd be able to tell that there's plenty of time. I think 4 or 5 minutes would work for a guy like that. Hey, thanks, Jacqueline F. Now, do you guys want me to do the come back on and do the trial of the Lake and Riley coming up here? It's going to take a few minutes to edit the thing a little bit. I've already downloaded it, but I don't know if you guys want me to or not. Right. Okay. Well, anyways, I hope that helped you guys. Maybe I'll try to put out some shorter videos again on this case, something like that, where you guys can. It's just really obvious, and we need more people that have logic and common sense that can combat the crazy people, because they are so much larger in number. It's amazing. It's crazy times. But I want to say thank you to, let's see, Kami, Charlotte Denny, and thanks for reaching the goal, you guys. And Tiny Bits of Magic, Jolene May, Moon Shadow, Clark Mania, new member, then Double Play Dog Dude, WNC Granny, Clackamania, Kylie K Cosmos, Kathy Bartlett, Dad and Video Games, and CR's Unique Take, Mostly Harmless, Joseph Brennan, and then It's Just Bella, Donna Ethier, CR's Unique Take, WNC Granny gifted a membership, then Sunshine Susie, then Clarkamania, then Cheryl gifted a membership, then Mindy, then Kisman, then Double Play Dog Dude again, then WNC Granny gifted a membership, then Sandy Shirley, Ocean City Gold, Bama Girl 41, T Chosen, Tony Nelson, Kiki Cabana, as in Coco Cabana, the worst song ever written, by the way. Put a 1 if Coco Cabana is the worst song you've ever heard in your life. Peggy Day, Vivacious Val, Aga Gaga, Queen Bee, David Einstein, Bren Manak, Cheryl, Laura C, Kinsman, and thanks for the multiple donators. I appreciate it. Charlotte Denny gifted 5, then David Einstein, Lee W. Marine, then I gifted 5 memberships, then we have Double Play Dog Dude, Let It Be, Tina G, and Jacqueline F. All right. It's the worst song ever written, you guys. Coco, Lola, she is a showgirl. I mean, give me a break. My God. Jesus, what are you just sitting around writing on a napkin or something? There isn't even a note in that song that's good. All right, you guys, we'll see you later. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya. Mandy's a good song.
If you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Greg is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.